On September 1776, during the American Revolutionary War, humanity witnessed the first-ever submarine attack in history. This event marked the debut of the world's first combat submarine. Not only did this incident shock the public, but it also opened a new chapter in the evolution of warfare tactics and methods, which are still in use today, nearly 250 years later. Simple yet perplexing questions about submarines continue to baffle us. Why are women rarely allowed to operate submarines? Why are submarines black in color? How long can they stay submerged? And how deep can they dive? All these questions will be answered by IC-94 in today's exploration journey. Since they're torpedoes loaded with explosives have become an indispensable weapon for submarines. They can be launched while the submarine remains underwater. This raises a question that I've long wondered about. Why doesn't seawater flood into the submarine after a torpedo is launched? The torpedo on a submarine is equipped with two hatches, one at the front and one at the back. These hatches operate on a mechanism where they cannot both be open at the same time. When the front hatch is open, the rear hatch remains closed. After the torpedo is launched, seawater enters the tube but cannot flood the submarine because the rear hatch stays sealed. Once the launch is complete, the front hatch is closed. A special valve then drains the seawater from the torpedo tube into a storage tank inside the submarine, compensating for the lost weight caused by launching the torpedo and maintaining the submarine's balance. Once the tube is emptied, another torpedo can be loaded. This means all submarine operations can be performed deep underwater. But have you ever asked yourself why submarines move faster underwater than on the surface? If not, now's the time to uncover the answer. The key lies in drop design. This shape allows submarines to glide swiftly through the ocean when fully submerged. On the surface, however, a significant amount of energy is lost due to the waves generated by the submarine. This energy loss reduces engine efficiency, making submarines slower than conventional ships with a bulbous or reverse bow design. That said, submarines, such as those used during World War II and the USS Nautilus, SSN 571, the first nuclear-powered submarine, were designed with angles to minimize wave resistance, allowing them to move faster on the surface than underwater. Of course, these underwater beasts wouldn't function smoothly without human hands at the controls. Submarine crew members are among the most elite and highly skilled personnel in the Navy. However, I've noticed that it's incredibly rare to see women involved in submarine operations. Why is that? According to IC-94's research, the U.S. Navy has not yet assigned female service members to submarines. This is due to the harsh living conditions and extremely limited privacy on board. Women have only participated in submarines as civilian technicians to inspect special equipment for short periods. Some female Navy personnel have attended two-day orientation programs. Regardless of the requirements for a submarine crew member are exceptionally rigorous. They operate a deadly underwater weapon capable of diving to great depths and carrying an arsenal of terrifying power. One standout example of this capability is the Soviet nuclear-powered submarine K-278 Komsomolets, which holds the record for the deepest dive at 1.020 meters. However, Komsomolets now rests at the ocean floor after a gas pipe rupture, and no submarine has since broken its record. Despite advancements in technology, could it be that modern submarines are no longer designed to dive as deep as before? To evade submarine detection systems, submarines only need to dive to a certain depth, making deep diving capabilities less critical for modern designs. Achieving extreme depths requires significant financial investment. Submarine hulls must be made from expensive alloy materials to withstand high pressure, and their designs often feature double hulls, which add even more cost. Due to the costs, only one such deep-diving submarine was ever built. The U.S. developed the Seawolf-class submarines, capable of diving to over 600 meters. These submarines were not only capable of diving deep, but were also equipped with advanced technologies, making them some of the most powerful nuclear attack submarines in the world. However, 3 Seawolf submarines were built before the program was halted because the U.S. military realized that extreme diving capability had limited practical use. Each submarine cost around $3 billion to build. Russia developed numerous submarines, but only 2 of them could dive close to 600 meters. Strategic nuclear attack submarines like Russia's Boryai class can dive only to about 450 meters, while the U.S. Ohio-class submarines have a maximum depth of just 240 meters. This indicates are no longer pursuing extreme diving capabilities for their submarines. While diving deeper has its benefits, the increasing costs don't necessarily yield proportional effectiveness. Modern advancements in stealth technology have made submarines sufficiently elusive without requiring extreme depths. Additionally, today's nuclear submarines are designed to launch missiles, which becomes less feasible at excessive depths. Apart from another fascinating question is how long submarines can stay submerged. This has always been a topic of curiosity for submarine enthusiasts. Submarines are designed and equipped to perform missions lasting several months, with sufficient personnel and resources on board. However, it's a diesel submarine or a nuclear submarine. They both need to surface periodically, but the reasons for this differ. For diesel submarines, the diesel engine generates energy through an internal combustion process that requires oxygen. Therefore, they need to surface to obtain enough oxygen for normal operations. These submarines must surface every few days or even more frequently, not only to take in fresh oxygen from above the water, but also to release gases generated during operations. This process is possible by a device called a snorkel, which allows the submarine to operate underwater while still taking in oxygen from the water's surface. Whenever the submarine surfaces, its diesel engines run to produce energy, which is then used to recharge the batteries that power the submarine. Nuclear submarines, however, operate using nuclear reactors. These generate enough energy to power all the electrical systems on board, as well as the life support systems for the crew. Therefore, unlike diesel submarines, nuclear submarines can operate continuously for days or even weeks without surfacing. Rest assured, these reactors can produce enough energy to power the submarine for decades. Although both and diesel submarines need to surface to exchange information with their base, receive new orders, or transmit other important communications, because underwater signals are less effective. You might be surprised to learn that food and supplies are the only real limitations on how long a nuclear submarine can stay submerged. Typically, they carry enough provisions for only 90 days. It's undeniable their appearance in the late 19th century. Submarines have quickly become an essential weapon for naval forces worldwide. For a long time, there was no effective way to destroy these ocean monsters. Submarines could move freely and destroy enemy ships without fear of detection. Even when spotting them from afar with the naked eye was extremely difficult, especially under sunlight. This was all thanks to the mysterious paint coating the submarine's exterior. Its primary purpose was camouflage, and black proved to be the optimal color for concealing these monsters beneath the ocean waves. However, standing on the deck of surface warships or any conventional ship, it's much easier to spot and detect objects on the water. In fact, modern binoculars and telescopes allow navigators to see objects as far as 70 kilometers away or more. In addition, a modern warship and destroyer is equipped with radar and sonar systems capable of identifying ships from great distances. Hence, the paint color of a submarine's exterior becomes a critical factor for its survival. Black or gray are the most optimal colors to help submarines blend into their. This is also submarines often surface at night, as it's an exceptionally difficult time to be detected. However, not all submarines are painted black or gray, although these are the most common colors. Some nations choose different colors for their submarines for various reasons. For instance, North Korea paints its submarines green, due to the uniqueness of the waters where their submarines operate and their specific usage needs. Some other nations, such as Iran and Israel, also paint their submarines green. Submarines from these countries primarily operate in clear, shallow, coastal waters, where green provides better camouflage. Additionally, not all submarines are used for military purposes. They can also be used for deep-sea exploration or search and rescue missions. In these cases, camouflage isn't a priority, so submarines can be painted in any color. However, in military applications, black remains the top choice due to the nature of submarine operations, their need for protection against enemies, and strict camouflage requirements for military vessels. That said, keep in mind that using dark-colored paint is only a small part of a submarine's overall camouflage strategy, as nearly 99% of submarine activities occur beneath the ocean's surface. Ensuring they don't collide with one another or get detected by the enemy remains the bigger challenge. When a submarine to a depth where it can use its periscope, it determines its position once using the GPS navigation system. Once the submarine is fully submerged, it switches to its own navigation system. At the same time, the navigator calculates the submarine's position based on its route, speed, water depth, and adjustments for ocean currents. The data collected is then compared with the navigation system data on board to ensure consistency. The submarine also uses sonar radar for navigation. Additionally, this radar is used to avoid collisions with friendly submarines, detect, and hunt enemy submarines. When talking about sonar radar, people often think of active sonar, the kind commonly portrayed in movies. Active sonar emits a ping underwater and analyzes the echo to detect objects. However, submarines never use this type of radar. Instead, use passive sonar, which continuously listens. Once a sound is detected within a specific frequency range, typically produced only by submarine activity, the signal can be tracked to pursue and eliminate the target. In shallow waters, things become a bit more challenging. In such cases, you might use the periscope to look around, but mobility is significantly restricted. If an anti-submarine ship appears ahead and the submarine doesn't dive deep or fast enough, you're definitely in big trouble. You must detect the ship's presence very early. Operating in shallow waters also means the submarine is more likely to be detected by the enemy. Raising the above the water surface essentially makes it easier for the enemy to spot you. This concludes our journey of decoding seemingly simple but rarely understood mysteries about the monsters lurking beneath the ocean depths. Are you curious about other types of weapons? Feel free to leave your intriguing questions for IC-94 in the comments below. Don't forget to like and share if you found this video helpful. For now, IC-94 says goodbye and wishes you a great day ahead.